Hi everyone, I'm Claire Hextall. I'm Marketing Director at Cowgills, and I'm joined today by partner and Head of Business Recovery at Cowgills, Jason Elliott. So the first question, Jason, we have is, the government has supported businesses over the past few months with a variety of grants, loans, etc. But as they come to a close and the reality hits that they've got to start paying them back, what protections are available for businesses that are unable to pay their debts?
Yeah, great question. Firstly, the government had to act quickly, and people have their own opinions, and those opinions will vary as to whether or not they feel the government have done enough or focused in the right areas. What I think is of concern is that lots of businesses will have taken on lots of new debts to get through this pandemic. And during this period, lots of businesses will have either significantly reduced turnover or none at all. So they won't have anything to offset this extra debt that they've taken on board, and that puts them in a very, very vulnerable position. Certain sectors won't return to the usual expected trading levels for some considerable time, and obviously that will affect their profitability. And HMRC have already advised that they're expecting payments to return to normal at the end of the deferral period and starting from now, the beginning of July. So that's going to create more problems. If you add on the fact that there are requirements to repay C-bills and eventually the 3-month deferral period at the end of the financial year, at some point they're going to financially struggle to survive if they don't get back to the levels and sometimes beyond the levels that they previously had. Now, to assist, the government introduced, and it's just been passed, the Corporate Insolvency and Governance Bill, and that is a temporary measure to protect businesses from, amongst other things, aggressive creditors. Now, it's fair to say, I've used the word temporary, and that's right. I don't know how long it's going to be in operation for, but I think as measures ease, that eventually that will be replaced. It'll go back to normal. And at this moment in time, we would imagine September will be the end of it, at which time people will be free to take whatever action they feel is appropriate, as they could have done pre-lockdown. But what this all culminates in is a precarious, probably Q4, maybe Q1 of next year for lots and lots of businesses. HMRC and creditor flexibility is likely to be needed, same with bank funding. The creditor flexibility is difficult because they've got their own issues. You know, they want to get paid, and if they don't get paid, then they just pay it forward, and eventually it creates a bottleneck. If HMRC aren't flexible with the time to pay, and the banks aren't flexible with the levels of lending and support, then it obviously culminates in real problems. Add in the drop of revenue and then the end of year expectation to repay the deferral, and as I've said, Q4, maybe Q1 for lots and lots of businesses is going to be very, very difficult, and lots of people are forecasting a real fallout for lots and lots of businesses. And unfortunately, unless something happens from the government that we don't know about yet, I would agree with those, unfortunately.
And what would your advice be to businesses that are struggling?
Well, it's difficult because it depends on whether or not the businesses continue to trade. But one of the things that we've been doing over the last 3 months are trying to manage cash flow for businesses. But how do you cash flow a business that has no visibility on what it is likely to do? You know, year on year, you can tend to take like for likes. Well, how do you like for like something that has completely changed? So it's very, very difficult. So businesses will want to hold on to as much cash as possible, will want to only pay what's absolutely critical until they get a feel for it. And I think, in answer to your question, having arrangements with creditors so that money does drip feed through, but keeping on top of management information, and insofar as you are able to get some comfort as to what you think the level of your turnover will allow you to then forecast and hopefully allow you to cash flow through it and come out the other side. But it's very, very difficult at the moment, Claire, for businesses that are only just reopening because, and I don't mean this to sound glib at all, when you open your restaurant, are you expecting people to rush through the doors because they haven't eaten, or are you expecting people to sit back and see what happens for a couple of months to other people and then start to come through? I don't have the answer to that, but nor do they, and therefore it's a very, very difficult thing to cash flow. But I think, if, without repeating myself, if you do the things that I've just said, if you hold on to your cash, You need to pay some people, see where you get to. Hopefully you'll have some opinion in the next couple of months that will allow you to forecast what your business needs going forward.
Brilliant. Thank you.